Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing great. I want to discuss a few things before we start our project. This is a Magazine Monday. We're using the Craft Beautiful Winter Special Edition 327, and it comes with a bunch of beautiful flower stamps, and it looks like this. Lots of beautiful things to play with. On the first episode, I did this card, or a rendition of this card, and I left the yellow strip out, but over the last couple of weeks, I was just like, it doesn't look right, and I wanted to fix that. So, this is the card that I originally did with the washi tape, and then I just decided to go ahead and put some ribbon on there because I think it made it complete, and that white strip wasn't floating. At first it was just kind of floating in the air, and now it's not. And also I was kind of concerned about my edges because I didn't seal them. I didn't burn them or glue them down. But when I looked at the card closer, they didn't seal their edges down either. So, we are on the money. The only thing I didn't add to it is this white strip. And I think I'm just going to take some computer paper and put that little white piece in there. So that is that. That's an update for that. Now let's move on to our next project, and it is called Blossom to Awesome. It is using the Vicki Boutin stamp set. I picked this up from Tuesday morning. It looks like this, and it does come with dies and stamps, and I kind of felt like $6.49 was a bit much. You can try to skew to see if it's still available. I know I've seen this back in the store recently, but you have the rose with the die, the bird with the die, the small flowers with the die, but you don't have this or the butterfly or those little sprigs, which is fine, no big deal. This is how I look. As you can tell, I have used it. I stamped this out in Pink Raspberry, the archival ink, Distress Archival ink, and then I just stamped this out in the green one. I can't remember the name right now. I'll show it to you later if I remember. And then this one. And what I did is I just stamped a full page out because I did not want to have to stamp and die cut. So I stamped a full page out, and then I just took it to the scan and cut, and I cut out all these little pieces because that made more sense to me. And it only took 4 minutes to cut the entire sheet. I think it probably would take me a longer time to load up, run it through, load up, run it through. And so what I did was I stamped these images out 5 times because they could fit on there. I had one casualty, and that's because I did something silly. I stamped the stamp image on top of it. And then we have this right here. That one's kind of close on there. And I don't like the white. On some of the images, I don't want the white. But as you can see on this one, it kind of got the white. And that's because the images were kind of off a little bit. Something was going on with me. And then we have this one. This one. As you can tell, all of them cut out great except for that one. And I'll show you my casualty in 1 second once I get there. So silly me stamped out this image on top of this image, and somehow the machine did not read it well, and that happens sometimes. I'm not going to say I don't think any of the machines are without fault because there's human interaction going on, but these are supposed to be like this. And you see how thin this is? I was like, after I did, I was like, why did you do that? So we just need to snip this off. And I just want to have enough on hand because we will be doing a few Vicki Boutin images. So here we are with that one. We got these, and I just stamped them out in green because it made more sense to stamp it out in the color that I really wanted it in versus black and then trying to color it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this card calls for a lot of different stuff. It says, the first one says to cover the front of the white card blank with blue watercolor paper. So they're saying take your white paper and cover with blue watercolor paper. Then you're going to do some other stuff. Now, this is not a shaker card, and I didn't plan on making a shaker card, but I am going to I'm going to do some creative licensing right now. All right, so I pulled out this Shimmer's Vibes Jenny B Blue. I don't know who these people are. I got this in a great D-stash a couple of years ago. And what we're going to do is we're going to spritz the paper. And probably the rest of my desk will be spritzed blue. So we're going to spritz this. And then I got this color. So we're going to have one color blue. And then I'm going to take the color inks and stamp the images on top of this versus the opposite direction. And then right here it says it's water-based, shake well. Now a lot of people say to rub in between your hands like this, and that's what the shimmer says do. So I don't know the difference. I'm going to have to look this up before I it says it's a mid-tone shadow and it's a Hero Arts product. So I'm going to definitely look into that before I spray. So I'm going to spray off camera just because, and I do have my little, eventually this paper will be going into some kind of something. So I'll do one squirt on camera and then one squirt off camera because I'm going to go from high up. And I feel like Vicki Boutin would approve of this because she's a definitely, I like her style. She's mixed media, you know. And I'm just going to clean my nozzle. This is not a Vicki Boutin spray or whatever. And then I have this little tissue that I'm just going to come back with and plop up all the big drops. But they're still going to stay there. And I think that's going to be very different and unique and pretty. And some of this card will go away because it's too big. Unless I make an A6 card. I could because I still have some of that paper left. Those card bases. So let me go ahead and research this. I'm going to do some other stuff. And I just want to do this one blue and then the other one's pink or red. Okay, so I did the red. And I think I'm going to have to cut some more paper down because this is not what I was hoping for. It's too, yes, you can decide on your own. Okay, because I couldn't leave well enough alone, I tried to use the Abandoned Coral Distress Spray Stain and it didn't come out as well either. And then it was still drying, and you know this medium is a little bit different than the other medium I used. So when I went to wipe it or plop it up, it started to smear a little bit, which I'll use it in something. So we have these two plain white sheets of paper. I think I need to change my blades because it's looking not so great. And then you see how this is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the big rose. So I have my big block out for this. And you see how the mist, the spray is underneath versus on top. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about. But you know, when you layer different things, you can tell sometimes you can tell the sequence of how someone has layered it. And I wanted to put the spray below the project versus on top of the project because I just wanted a different look and feel. Now my concern is these roses. I'll tell you why once I figure this one out. Let's try this. And I did not want to do any overage, which I actually got right there. Because I don't like that. For this particular card, I don't want to do that. You definitely can use a mask if you feel like that's necessary when you're crafting and you have some stamps or things that you don't want to put over, and that would definitely be good. But if you make a mistake, you can always just turn it into a happy accident versus getting really upset with yourself about it. Now we're going to use Faded Jean. All of these are archival inks, not distress inks. They're the distress colors, but not the distress. So if I was to put water on them, they should not react and fade. And I am reapplying the ink every time I press down. And I could have used the Mermaid Lagoon because it is a little bit on the lighter side, but I am choosing not to do that. And we got to make sure we keep our sentiment. Now, I don't know if I really care for the Blossom to Awesome. Honestly, I don't know about that one. I'm going to put one right here. Some sentiments, like you all know if you've been here for a while, you know how I feel about sentiments and alphas. I have a few sentiments that I actually like, and then some I just, like You Are the Best would probably be what I would use, or either Hello Love. That's a good one, but I think this bird is probably meant for the Hello Love. Now we're going to use Fossilized Amber, and I'm sure they didn't make this set for me to be able to use my distress inks, but it's just so cool that you'll be able to use the things that you actually purchase. I have been so contemplative about doing a no spend or a freeze, and I feel like I don't want to put myself on a mandatory or a self-imposed don't buy anything, because for me, whenever I tell myself you can't do something, I feel like I'm going to do it in spite, despite. Does that make sense? So I do think that I'm going to be using more of what I have versus running out and getting the latest and greatest, unless it's something that I just cannot live without. And ink, the distress inks, I really, really, really wanted to get them. So that was why I went out and got them. I'm going to do a second generation on this one, right in this little corner right here. And it's probably going to be first because I didn't stamp the whole thing down. Alright, now what I will do is pull out this sprig again. So I changed my mind. We're not using that sprig. We're using another one. This one is actually in blue, and they look like they fussy cut these right here, but no. So what I'm going to try to do is put it on here without overlapping too much. All right, so let's go ahead and do some layering. Okay, before I did the layering, I wanted to get the next piece, the background piece, and this looks like it has three or four different types of things going on, and I can't do all that. So what I did is I took the A6 card and I cut it down 6 by 4.5, and then so this is 5 1/4, no, 5.5 by 4 1/4, and I feel like that would look good. I could, if I wanted to go a step further, get another sheet of paper and layer it under there, but I can't mentally do it. Physically I can, but mentally that's a lot of math. Okay, so I have taken some decorative edge scissors, the sunflower paper edges by Fiskars, and I think I'm going to use the Hello Love. When I don't craft like at the crack of dawn, it's so noisy, like everyone's waking up and doing things, so you can't tell, you may not be able to tell the noise, but I can tell the noise, and it's annoying. So I didn't like Blossom to Awesome, as I told you, but it's okay. I could have did You Are the Best, but since I put this flower right here so far out, it does not, I'm gonna cover it up anyway, but it's a little bit farther out than the way they have it. So we're just going to use this little spot right here. And I'm not going to layer it up. So we're going to just use Hello Love right there. So we're going to snip this piece off. And then I'm going to take some ink and distress the sides. Alright, so we're going to put our Hello Love right here. And I am using foam tape. I did not bring any more foam tape to my desk. So I'm using bits and pieces and we're going to make it work. But the heat is on. And I feel like this needs to be popped up doubly for some reason. And I'm just going to cheat really quickly. I know all these flowers are pink, but I'm going to color this in yellow. Only because our little sentiment is framed in yellow. And I really don't think anyone's going to question that. If someone wants to see it in Texas, they'd be like, oh yeah, we have a lot of yellow roses. I think that's like a thing for ladies here. I'm not sure. Don't know. But you could tell me if you like in the comment section. I've seen yellow roses, like real flowers, before, but I think it's a thing as well. Okay, so we got that one. I'm gonna need some tape. So I'm just pulling this off. I'm gonna put it right here. Then I'm gonna put some more on top of it. But I need the strip to be the exact same length because I want to stack it up. So this is all I have left. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I have it somewhere. I just forgot to bring it to the desk. Because as I told you all, I have a little wall unit that I got from, I think it was Lowe's or either Home Depot. Like a 48 drawer thing situation. And I, what do y'all think? You like it? It pops out a lot more, right? So now we're gonna, you know, maybe you were concerned about my piece that was tore or broken. I'm gonna show you how you pretend like nothing's going on. You're just gonna slide it right under there and no one's gonna be the wiser. It's just gonna be between you and I. Unless you tell someone, right? This is definitely how you fix mistakes, boo-boos, accidents. I'm only going to pop this one up one time because I want the flower to kind of be the focal point. Alright, so we got that going on over there. I'm going to put one right here. I feel like I'm always complaining about the stuff I don't have, but I'm good, you know, I'm good with not having it. I just need to remember to bring it to my workstation. Because who isn't prepared to craft? Like, come on now. Me, this woman. Alright, so we're going to do this one the same way. I don't know if I want to use yellow. Let me see. Good morning, son. Okay, so my little one is up. It is the crack of dawn. He's been waking up super early these last couple of days. Go potty. So, I apologize for the interruption. We will only be doing one card. And I didn't even talk to you all. I have a doctor's appointment today. So I'm a little bit nervous. I'm always nervous about these darn doctor's appointments. Only because, you know, you can tell when you don't feel well, even if everyone else thinks that you're doing great and marvelous. I'm not going to pop this one up. I am going to use some glue really quickly. This is art glitter glue. The only place I know that you can buy it without hassle is Amazon. I do think that some people sell it like in D-stashes. I bought some from Cali Scrapper before, but I've never officially seen it anywhere else. I just pulled out some tweezers because it's hard for me to grip things sometimes, you know, pick them up. Let's move this up a little. Oh no, I pulled it too hard. So you can barely see that little splattering that I did, the blue splatters. You can barely even see it, right? We're gonna put this right here. Let's see. I think we are done. I do want to put some sequins, and the only sequins I have at my desk, of course, are the flower ones. So I'm just gonna, this is what I tend to do, just kind of drop them, and that's not gonna work, right? Definitely not gonna work. Definitely not gonna work. But what I want to do is I want to put something right here because I feel like I was a little bit heavy-handed right here. So I'm gonna put one there, maybe two there, one here and one there. And I have to be very quick because this art glitter glue will dry on me and I'll be sad. Let's do green since we didn't use a lot of green besides our sprigs. They used blue in theirs. It was much more of a blue theme on their project that we're okay, so this is our finished product. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm going to let these pieces dry. I don't want them to fall off. It's going to be blank on the inside, of course. I was thinking about stamping this out, but I need to go take care of my little guy. So this is our project. And this is the inspiration piece. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Till next time, happy crafting.